Now you're going to like this page. You can actually do this, the calculator has this normal curve in it. So pretty much everything you can do by looking it up in the chart, you can also do using your calculator. To find the proportion of observations 1.5 standard deviations away. We did that on the last page. It goes like this. There's 0, there's 1.5, and there's 1.5 that's negative. I'm looking for that percentage right there, right? It goes like this on your calculator. A normal CDF, negative 1.5, 1.5, 0, and 1. If you have a calculator that doesn't prompt you with a drop-down, you're going to have to know to put in 4 things. A little number, negative 1.5, and a big number, 1.5, to make an interval, and then the mean and the standard deviation. So let me show you how you do that. I got my calculator, turn my calculator on. It's in the distribution menu right there. So I want to hit second and variables to get to the distribution menu. And so it's number 2 right there. You see it? Normal CDF. Now, on some older calculators, it would just, normal CDF with open parentheses just shows up and the cursor's blinking. So you have to know to type these things in with a comma. The comma is right above the 7. So if you have to do that, you should be able to get through it. For us, it says lower, upper, mean, and standard deviation. Lower, upper, mean, standard deviation. So I go negative 1.5, 1.5, 0 is my mean, 1 is my standard deviation. Now those of you who don't have the drop-down menu, that's what it should look like when you go to hit enter. I hit enter and it tells me it's 0.8664. Now we had to look up 2 numbers in the chart and subtract them to get that on the last page. So I want to write this for you. This is in the second and then variables button for the distribution menu. That's how you find that on the calculator. Now find the z-score that corresponds with the 30th percentile, you guys. That's the backwards question again. This is the inverse question. So 30th percentile, that's less than 50, right? There's the mean. And so 50% of the data is less than the mean. So I'm looking where 30% of the data is. And they want to know what's the z-score. So I could either get the chart and try to find 30 in the middle of the chart, or back to the calculator, we do this. Go second and variables to get to the distribution menu and look at number 3 is an inverse norm button. So I put the area 0.30. Now newer calculators have this option, left, center, or right. That's nice. So this does more than the table does. A lot of you don't have that option. It will just always be left. So the mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1. I am looking for the area to be to the left of my z-score. So when I hit enter, I get negative 0.52. Negative 0.52. So this z-score is negative 0.52. A little over half of a standard deviation to the left. So I'm going to write on here, I would do inverse norm of 0.30, comma 0, comma 1. And then I hit that, and I get negative negative 0.52. Okay, here's a little check your understanding. I'm asking you for the area left of this z-score, right of this z-score. This doesn't actually make sense. This is a previous check your understanding from the previous edition, so I just left it in there to give you guys a little bit of practice. So these bottom 2, here's what I'm going to say. I want this one to be the 5th percentile, and I want this one to be the 80th percentile. So what do I mean by that? I mean, on this last one, there's got to be a number, a z somewhere, where 80% of the data is to the left. That's what a percentile is, right? You learned that before. And for this one, it's the 5th percentile. So I'm looking for, this would be way down here, I think. I'm looking for the z-score where I would have 5% of the data left. Okay, use your calculator, use normal CDF and inverse norm to find all of these values.